Good morning. Right. Welcome to this little hotel room. God, I made such a mistake last night. I can't even begin to tell you. Talk about baby brain. I've got a 4-month-old baby, building a house, doing fixed radio, doing social media, got multiple jobs running. My brain is scrambled. It's all over the place and I made such an error. It's ridiculous. Backstory. So, probably those on YouTube probably don't know this because you might just follow me on YouTube and not on Instagram or anything like that. But I've been doing Instagram for a few years now, and it's where all of my content goes. Like, I really struggle to like remember to do YouTube. I do daily stories on Instagram. So if you're ever on Instagram, check me out at Glister Services on there and give us a follow. That's what it is. But luckily last year, I won an award, which I was super proud of. It meant an awful lot to me because there are other awards out there in the industry that you can go for. And let's just say, like, the more I've been on social media, the more you learn how these awards are sort of like marketing backed. So, you know, like brands get behind it and it's all kind of like, well, what's good for the brand and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, I've won other awards in a while, but this one really means a lot. This is only been out 2 years. I didn't enter the first year. And my mate Briggsy won. It was wicked. But following year, I was like, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to enter it. And I won it. So this is, it's Plumbers Plumber of the Year award. So essentially what it means is that other plumbers have voted for me to be the best plumber. So that's where it means loads. So it's not just, you know, not some company that has no idea what plumbing's like or why I'm winning it. They're just like, oh yeah, Todd, you know, it's plumbers that have been following me on social media like, yeah, Todd decent, mate, I want him to win it. And that's why that means so much. So it's the Plumbers Plumber of the Year. It's like the Ballon d'Or for plumbing. But anyway, with this prize, with winning this, not just this lovely coupling that we get here, which is a cracking little trophy if you ask me. It's a day up to Lawton Copper. Meet Rob. I know Rob anyway. Met him at Installer a few times and all the rest of it. But come up to the factory, do a big tour. He's gonna take us out for dinner, drinks, all this sort of stuff. Super excited for it. As well as the runner-ups. So got 3 runner-ups and me, and we come up here. Anyway, with organising it all, there was, we're trying to get some dates down that everyone could do. This is a few months back. And anyway, the 3rd/the 4th of April won. And I was like, yep, I can put that in. I put it in my diary straight away. I have to deal with everything as I see it. Like, if I read a text and don't act on it, I'll forget about it. Because, like I just said, my brain's fucking all over the place. Sorry for swearing. So, anyway, I popped that in my diary. Tour on the 3rd, check out on the 4th. Great. So this week coming up to it, I've been telling my customers, no, I'm not going to be here, you know, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be back Friday. I've organised jobs for Friday. Anyway, I drove from home last night all the way up here. Dealt with the baby to an extent, like got dinner made, make sure George was right. The only thing I left out was bedtime and bath time and all the rest of it. I was like, right, we'd go. I got here for 10:30 last night. Got my first speeding ticket I've ever had as well, which wasn't brilliant. So the A45 got me, damn it, 57 and a 50. Anyway, I got here last night, was trying to check in. They're like, I'm so sorry, there's no one under that name. And I was like, I got my dates mixed up. It was supposed to come up on the 3rd, stay, and then the tour is on the 4th, on the Friday. Oh, mate. So I rang them and I was like, what's going on? And then they said to me, no, it's tomorrow. You're supposed to come up tomorrow. And I was like, oh God. So I really messed up. So essentially, they're really nice. They got me a hotel last night. So I stayed last night. I'm now woken up on the 3rd. And essentially what I was going to do was some heat pump training with Valent and stuff, but Rob Lawton said, look, I'll come and meet you for breakfast and I'll bring you over to the offices. So we'll see, but I'm hoping that I can say, look, is there any chance I can just do like the tour today, have a little walk around the factory, all the rest of it, and then, you know, we can go out tonight and then essentially I can go home Friday. That would be amazing, but we'll see. I'm just going to ask for that, but I better go and get ready, as you can see, and go and meet him for breakfast. So yeah, let's see what the day brings us, but I thought that's a little insight story there. It's probably about 15 minutes long. Right, enjoy this episode. See you in a bit. So I've come down for breakfast and the main man himself, Mr. Rob Lawton, is here, and he's done me a solid. He said, look, you numpty, I know you're a day early, but why don't we have a little walk around today, and then you can shoot off Friday and get to your jobs and your stepdad's 60th and the rest of it, because he's a legend. So we have a little coffee, and now we've got a good day in town.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Proper copper.
Hope you enjoy it. Proper copper.
Monday.
So he's giving me a lift. I'm back where I started. So last night I pulled in the night guard. It was such a coincidence because they didn't organise this to happen. It was just a coincidence. They opened the gate, so I just drove in. I parked up. I'm here. This is it. And then I was expecting to see someone like greet me here, and there was no one. I thought, oh, that's weird. They must be out. They must be out having dinner and drinks. So I was like, I'll just go. I'll walk to the hotel. It's a 5-minute drive. It's a 27-minute walk, and it was quite cold last night. So I walked all the way there, checked in, and then realised I got the wrong date. So we're here. This is Lawton HQ. We've got the factory over there, and these are the offices. I love these little copper details here. I like Rob's car as well, Q8 e-tron. Go on, Rob. So he is doing me an absolute solid now. Obviously, I'm a day early. This is all supposed to happen yesterday, but he was like, look, Todd's here a day early. I want him to shoot off. I don't want him to lose out on Friday. So it's a very last minute. They're going to get some bits together and get what we were supposed to do on Friday today. So all the staff are in there running around, panicking, sorting bits out. And I'm like, please don't stress. It's my cock up. So we're going to go in there and do some bits and pieces. So let's go in. Let's have a little look. Signed in. Here we go. We're in. Welcome to Lawton's. Look at this. I remember I pressed one of them, I think. Oh, yes. Oh, look, this peach tree. Love it. Got the look, mate, today. Look at this.
Yes. So, ops are in here where everything gets planned and organised, and out here is the warehouse, right?
God, look at this.
So everything in the crates is air conditioning.
Oh, interesting.
So,
is that to keep it, like, really protect it?
Everybody, because a lot of the customers, a lot of the merchants want it in cases.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we pick. Every tube is separate. Each case has got different length and size on it.
Right.
And refrigeration is imperial, not metric.
Yeah.
But a lot of customers
Jesus
want
Christ.
cases, so we reuse the cases and we put it in to then give it to our customers, and then we have to take the cases back.
I was good. Do you do
We do it in slings and bundles, as you can see, but in refridge we've got to do it in cases.
Oh, interesting.
It's just different markets do different.
Is there like a
Are you a copper champion?
Oh, there he is. That's me.
Yes, 2020. Where is it?
2024.
So that's just refridge.
Plumbers Plumber.
Straight length refridge. So we carry probably the UK's largest amount of stock of refrigeration tubes.
Couldn't believe that, mate.
And that's just straight length.
That's all right.
Okay, they have multiple sizes of thicknesses per size. So on plumbing tube,
Yeah.
so 15 mil, you'll have 0.7 or 1 mil.
Yeah.
That's your two sizes. On refridge, you could have up to 4 or 5 all thicknesses,
Mm-hmm.
depending on what pressure you want to put through the system.
With you,
So
okay.
you've got CO2 for supermarkets, for example. Then
This
all
is so
side,
interesting. I love this.
All this side is plumbing.
It's me. This is my
You've got your
department.
plumbing tube there, you've got your coils.
Look, one of them would be perfect. Or
Just put all that in your van.
all of that, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, you don't want to so each stack is 900 metres.
Look at this. Oh my
900
God.
metres. Yeah. So if you count that, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 9 is, I don't know what your maths is.
81.
Is it? And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 high.
I'm not going to do 81 times 8, but I'm sure someone watching can add it up for us and have an idea. But look at that.
So in a ton, there's 3,600 metres.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, a quarter of a ton each. Yeah, so
if this is a master, is this a master bundle? Is the
bundle. So
okay.
most merchants would order
A master bundle.
If you were like a one branch merchant, you'd have 2 master bundles of 50.
With you.
And you'd have a master bundle of 22.
Okay.
And then you have your bundles of 28.
Yeah.
And that's a typical order for one merchant that should last for about a month.
So this is a master crate.
So this is just how we stack it on the floor.
Also, I'd like to add, but this is what I love about Rob, that wasn't too long ago he tried the paper tape because it was better for the planet and all the rest of it. And no, this I'm picking you up, mate. And right, it stuck to the pipes, and I was like, mate, this stuff's a nightmare. Most manufacturers would be like, sod off. Rob went, okay, listen to us, change it back to the yellow tape.
Environmentally friendly.
Bloody brilliant, this stuff.
Glue out. You don't realise, right, the glue on the back of the tape, which is standard.
Yeah.
Because depending on the temperature of the pipe, because don't forget copper's really good at conducting heat.
Yeah.
So as we make it, it's hot.
Yeah.
So you've got to wait till it's cooled down. If you too fast and not getting it, let it cool down, the resin on the glue will stick to the
right, so there's like a sweet spot.
But then you also, when you deliver it, it's on a hot day, right, you then get the heat from the sun, pipe, or if it's raining, is the opposite. So you've got this it's a bit like a desert.
It's tricky to do with that temperature.
In the desert, it's really hot, and in at night time, it's really cold.
Yeah.
So it's quite a tricky beast.
Well, I tell you what, personally, this stuff's the best. When you just unpeel that, you don't tend to get any problems, really.
I do, you don't want it at all, but...
Thank you for listening anyway, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it's normally, but just for you. You've got your decorative chrome.
Yep.
So that's for your pole dancing.
Oh, yeah, lovely, yeah. It comes individual. So for anyone that doesn't realise, it comes with this like wrap to keep it shiny.
We send the tube. We don't do the chrome plated on site, but what we do is you send the tube to be plated.
Yeah.
And because they're chromed individually, they basically get dropped into a big bath.
Right.
And you have to support each end of the pipe so you can get perfect chroming. And then to protect the chrome, it's then individually wrapped.
Interesting.
This is your yellow coated. I'll show you the factory later on. I'll show you the machine later on. But your yellow coat.
I love this stuff.
What?
Gas pipes. So you get
asking you questions.
Yeah, no. So I use this all the time, stick it in, and I'd really love it if Rob would do a red version and a blue version as well.
I have a blue. Not straight lens.
Yeah, can we do that one day? Oh, okay, yeah, I'd like that one day. I would love it if this was available in a red and a blue for certain situations, but that's asking a lot.
All the way down here is our finished stock of big sizes, so 35 all the way up to 108 mil to 219 mil.
Oh, man.
So all our big size pipes down here.
Look at this. Look at this.
If you get a backlight,
look at that.
You stand in front of it.
That is actually stunning, isn't it? It's like a
wow, it's actually clean too, thank God for that.
It's like a bee's dream, this is, isn't it?
Yeah, how clean is that pipe? And you're just going to be putting water down there.
That's environmentally friendly. You should have a bee's house made up out of copper. That's what I'm going to make you, Rob.
Yeah.
So, in here, we have this, which is what, Rob?
So, this is a brazing rod with 5% silver in it. And basically, what you do is above 54mm pipe, you don't use tin.
Okay.
So when you're doing your domestic plumbing, you'll get your tin reel out, your lead free.
Yeah.
And you'll do a little bit of mat pressing, and you'll heat it up to about 200 degrees.
Yeah.
Because that's what lead free tin basically melts at. This stuff is almost pure copper with about 5% silver in it.
Right.
So you'll have to heat this up to about 1,000 degrees because that's the melting point of copper.
Right. Okay.
And then you're basically welding in a way, but it's called brazing. You're applying it just the same as you would with your tin.
Yeah.
And you're still doing the same sort of process, and you can still use flux.
Yeah.
But you're doing on above 54mm.
Right. Okay.
And the trace of silver in there is to give it extra strength.
Yeah.
So you can't use tin anymore above 54.
Or if you pull a T, so instead of using fittings, you have to use this stuff as well, right? Yeah. So interesting. That I've never seen this personally. So what you buy?
You can get a whole different.
So do you buy a box of it like that instead of instead of a roll of solder, you'd buy a box of it like that?
Lens,
yeah.
500 150mm long.
Yeah.
And you can get different degrees. You can have up to 45, 60% silver.
Oh,
So
okay.
the higher silver content, the more expensive it's going to be.
With you, yeah.
But it would give you a stronger joint, because silver's stronger than...
And I'm assuming 54, you sort of need the minimum amount of
54
silver.
You can still use, no, 54 you can still use tin.
Okay.
Above 54mm, you'll have to use brazing.
With you, okay.
And
right.
in refridge,
Yeah.
it's only brazing rod. They don't
Right,
use tin
of
at
course,
all.
yeah.
So you use lead-free in plumbing.
Yeah.
Brazing on above 54mm, and in refrigeration.
Brilliant.
And in medical gas.
See, that's bloody helpful, isn't it? I enjoy learning stuff like this. Right, where we going, Rob? Right, camera down?
Yeah.
Camera down.
We've probably got about £20 million worth of fitting. From end feed to now press, which is new. Compression.
What's that, Rob?
Soldering.
You're now
press.
offering press, yes.
Yeah, in water and gas.
In gas as well?
All in copper, yeah. So we do end feed, brazing. So the big stuff's called brazing, because we just talked about the brazing rods.
Yes.
So they call the big size fittings brazing fitting.
Right, okay.
We do soldering, compression, you name it.
You name it. If there's a fitting.
Chrome plated. We do Munson rings. So over here, you've got these are your Munson rings, isn't it? I think he says. So that one's a hospital bracket, right? So you clip it to the wall, and you unscrew and you put your 15mm.
I didn't know they made a Munson sort of thing like that.
Yeah, so that's really popular in hospitals, so medical gas.
Oh, okay.
And we do school ball clips, Munson rings, so all that right there.
I like that. That's nice.
I think we do about £2 million worth of brass Munson rings. We're probably one of the biggest stockists.
Wow, that's incredible.
Lots of things that people don't know about.
No, I didn't even know that existed.
On your private one-to-one tour.
When we're done with this tour, can I just have a wander around, open up all the boxes and see what fittings you do? Yeah, there they are.
And then you do them in chrome as well.
Yeah.
Alright.
But I didn't know about them other ones. They're quite nice. Can you fix that in just one place?
Yeah.
So you the other Munsons, you need two fixings.
In talon clips.
Yeah.
Or if you don't use talon clips.
Yeah.
Other manufacturers that do exist. Or you can use rubber lined steel clips.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Which I do.
They're the three options. Really.
Yeah. Okay.
So Munson rings are the preferred because you don't get any. You're not contaminating different metals.
Yeah.
So you have copper and brass.
It's
they
fine.
work together. No. But if you do stainless rubber line clips, if that rubber is nicked or missing
and touches the copper,
you can end up getting
corrosion.
Galvanized corrosion.
So we're coming out of the warehouse now, and we are heading over.
No, that's not my vehicle.
That's not his vehicle. He doesn't love copper that much.
1918 is when the business started, but it was in Central Coventry.
When was the business, like say?
1918.
1918,
Wow.
right.
Over 100 years old.
Yeah.
But then we moved here in the 1940s, and no sooner did we move in, the government took us over for the Second World War. So for 10 years, we were fixed making just for the war effort.
Oh, wow.
So our income was fixed, there was no growth.
Yeah.
Everything we produced, our profit and our margin and all the rest of it, everything was frozen.
Yeah.
And we literally just moved in.
And would you just supply copper for whatever's needed in the war, whatever?
Yeah, whatever's needed for vehicles.
Yeah.
Because
Interesting.
if you remember in the 1940s, all cars and lorries, everything that had copper in it.
Yeah.
These days it's aluminium, it's fibre, it's carbon fibre, but back in the day,
Yeah.
we were making very much for the car industry.
Interesting. Right, so we're going in. I'll show you inside.
So this is the original factory.
Okay,
right?
here we are.
This is
the OG factory.
This is where the second generation and the third generation of Lawtons cut their teeth, right? And even I, the fourth generation, cut our teeth.
Yeah.
It's a lot different these days than it was back then because we've refurbed it. But in essence, it's the same building.
Look at this. Wait.
So that's white plastic coated, right? So you saw the yellow.
Oh, I didn't know.
We can do any colour, mate. We can do all the multicolours if you want.
How do you order that then? Do you have to order that specially?
Well, we have a machine that makes the plastic coat.
Oh,
we're a factory man. So I'm going to so we white coat.
Yeah.
Why do we white coat? Well, one of our markets is Hong Kong.
Right.
Right. And if you think of Hong Kong, I don't know if you've ever been.
I've not, but it's hot.
It's a small island basically surrounded by sea. Well, so because it's such a small island, the skyscrapers are very small.
Right.
So in a normal building, like say in London, all your services go in the lift shaft.
Yeah.
Right, because it's so narrow, they can't get all the services in the lift shaft, so they have to put some services on the outside of the building. So they put all
No
the plumbing,
way.
The plumbing goes on the outside of the skyscraper.
What?
And so we have to plastic coat.
Yeah.
And we add UV protection in there.
Yeah.
And we guarantee it for 5 years against salt water and the sun.
And obviously white's the best colour to sort of deflect the sun and all.
The skyscrapers are white out there.
Yeah.
So we made oodles and oodles of white coated copper.
Yeah.
So it goes out to Hong Kong.
Mate, that is well interesting.
Every country has a different.
Fucking hell, I love that. Sorry, mate, you alright? Sorry again for swearing. Sorry about that. That was interesting though. Right, boys?
These are the two machines that we use to plastic coat copper. So we've made the tube, and we'll show you how we make tube in a minute.
Yeah.
But basically, that's your 15mm plumbing tube.
Yeah.
Go along.
Look, it's going. Look, it's going. I feel like.
Now, this is boiling hot, right? So you've got your UV and you've got your colour of your plastic. So you say, can we do different colours? Yes. All you have to do is put different colour pellets in.
Yeah.
And basically, it goes in the hopper, heats up into this superheated.
In that tea, like it goes in there, like red hot.
And then the plastic applies straight over top of the copper, and then you use a chilled water at a certain temperature. So we have a chiller.
Yeah.
You can read it at exactly 16.5 degrees C. So the water has to be exact temperature. I've just screwed it out. And then it carries on. And by the time it comes out of the machine, you've got your finished plastic coated copper.
Hey, look at this. Look, it comes through. Mate, this is well good. This is well good.
What are you expecting, Todd?
Mate, I don't know. Oh, yes, mate.
It's got my name on it.
That's proper, isn't it?
Even
It's got my name on it. Mate, that's epic,
I like
isn't
it
it?
so much, you bought the machine. And then we've got the other machine, this one goes up there and maintenance. So it does exactly the same.
Same thing.
So we can plastic coat any tube up to 108 mil.
Can I get like a direct, can I just WhatsApp you like, I want a bundle 22 with black coating and you sort me out a deal?
If I had the colour dye, yeah, why not? So you've got the different toolings depending on what size you want.
Yeah, that's the hopper. Mate, that is epic. I love this. That's so good. No, yeah, yes. Coming a day early has its benefits, it seems. Yeah. Right, here we go. Look at this. More master bundles. Look at the size of that one.
Is that 219?
Hello. Oh. Hello.
So these are what we call our shell tube.
Is this the bargain bucket?
This is what I'm going to give you. So it's our raw material, right? It's what we call shell tube.
Right, okay.
If you look at it, it's not particularly shiny. It's definitely not straight, and it's not the sort of thickness, and it's just.
This is exactly what my pipe looks like when I get it out of the van after it's been in there a few months.
Yeah. Or you're going to go trying to bend
I'm trying to push it in between the joists and it gets a bit banana-y.
So this is 99.9% pure copper.
Right.
All our material that we manufacture.
Yeah.
Whether it's for plumbing, air conditioning, medical gas, everything is 99.9% pure copper. With a little bit of trace of tin and a little bit of trace of silver, but for all intents and purposes, it's pure copper.
Right, with you.
All right, and that's our raw material because we're a redrawer. We take a tube and turn it to another tube.
With you. Okay.
All right. So,
Look at this.
what we do, I don't know if we've got any actually working at the moment, but I'll explain.
Yeah.
We have a combination of two types of tooling that we need to use to get to the desired size of OD and size of ID, so wall thickness and outside diameter.
With you.
Pipe.
Okay, yeah.
So the tube goes through a die.
Yeah.
So that's called a die, and we've got.
And then this goes in the middle of it.
That's called a plug.
Yeah.
And it goes out your butt.
Yeah. Hey, that's later.
That one's yours, mate. And that's called a plug, and that goes inside the tube.
Right.
So you've got.
Go on, give us the action.
You've got your die,
Yeah.
tube going in there,
Yeah.
but then inside the tube you've got your plug,
Yeah.
and the combination of the two
Yeah.
can change the characteristics of any copper tube by as much as 30% per draw.
And is this what categorises if you have like table X copper, table Y? It's all the different thicknesses. Yeah.
I can make any size of wall thickness.
Anything if you want it, I can make it.
I have about £500,000 worth of tooling.
Wow.
Just to make tube.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's just a selection of. So you've got little small plugs if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
And then more experienced. Alright.
Oh, Rob. Oh, Rob.
Subscribers.
Yeah, no, I haven't. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
There you go. Here it is before the tube comes in.
Okay.
So the tube comes down this ramp. It'll go into this yellow. What do you want to call that?
A funnel.
I was going to call it sleeve. Okay.
A sleeve, but yeah.
So that's the plug.
Yeah.
So if you imagine the tube's on the outside.
It just smashes through it.
And then what you do is you crush the end, and I'll show you what we do. But you see that tube has been mitered or whatever you want to call it. It's shaped.
Yeah.
So what we call a dog.
Okay.
Which is on the other side of this wall.
Yeah.
We'll grab the tube and pull it. It's literally brute force.
And that's all it does.
Elbow grease.
And does it use what? Is it hydraulic or something? Just pulls it through.
Literally brute force and
wow.
And oil.
That's so cool.
Using our kit. I'll see if I've got the kit.
That is so cool. Yanks it through, and that's how you get your thickness.
Don't forget, copper's 100% recyclable. So
of course it is, Rob. There we go.
Any offcuts that we have where we're making tubes,
yeah.
guess what? Goes in our scrap bin, and it goes back into the beginning.
Lovely.
Of the and turns into another pipe.
Do you offer good scrap prices, Rob? If I bought some in.
As you were early, you didn't turn over your work boots. You were late for breakfast, and God knows what else. Oh, we left your van keys, so I can't fill your van up for the
Oh, mate, I'm having a mare.
So this is another product we do, and actually, Todd, this is probably our biggest export.
Right.
It's medical gas, so it's basically 99.9% pure copper. Remember?
Yeah.
It's the same size as a plumbing tube.
Yeah.
But the difference is the cleanliness inside the tube. So it's a clean, shiny bore.
Yeah.
So it's bright copper finish because the antimicrobial properties of copper kills germs at touch and fungi.
Yeah.
99% of any germ, even COVID, it'll kill at touch.
Right.
So it's a perfect medium for carrying oxygen. So we nitrogen purge to get rid of any moisture, and then we cap it at each end and bag it so it protects the pipe, because that's what we need to do for the NHS.
Right.
And a lot of people, we can thank the NHS for their meticulous documentation, and a lot of countries around the world will copy it.
We'll follow it, yeah.
So
the UK's leading in that regard.
Yeah, the UK leads on it. So
yeah.
the UK NHS specification sits on top of the standard for the product.
Yeah.
And then everybody always says, oh, you need to refer it back to the NHS. So this product, all different sizes, is all ready to go in medical gas.
This is how I actually want my copper. I can't afford it.
Personally cleaned. And
so yeah, like Rob was saying as well, on 15 mil, up to 54 mil, he said, you'll sort of clean the inside of the pipe and put a light coating on it, whereas this
pre-coated oxide board, like
yeah,
an orange tint, like a powder.
Yeah, yeah.
You put your finger down some plumbing tube.
Yeah, you get a little tinge.
Diameter,
yeah,
and that's to help its natural way of building a resistance to what's going through it.
Yeah,
water and stuff. So you need an oxide coating. So you want the tube to go different.
Yeah.
Inside, you don't want it to shine.
Right,
not
with
all
you.
manufacturers do it.
Yeah.
We certainly do it up to 54 and
yeah.
give it that little helping push in nature.
Yeah.
So you don't get the pinhole corrosion.
So good. Yeah, because other brands, if you ever had pinholes or something like that, that could be why. So they haven't done that on the inside. So yeah. That's interesting. Didn't know about that. I'm learning so much. Right.
I ship this to 42 different countries around the world.
God.
Right, so we've drawn the tube.
Yeah.
We've straightened the tube.
Yeah.
We've temperature altered it back into the furnace because we work hard metal when we draw the tube. So we got it back into a bendable state.
Yeah.
Now we're at a finished product. We cut it to length. So this looks like 35 and in 3 meters.
Yeah.
So what's happening is the pipe's coming down. It's being engraved with our name on it.
Yeah.
That's part of the standard. We're also inkjet marking it to make it easily read. And then it goes through, this is one of the final stages we do, this is called a flow line.
Yeah.
And that's going through a magnetic field. It's called eddy current testing.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is checking to make sure there's no dents in the pipe and there's no inclusions, no holes other
wow.
than the ones either end.
That's
and
amazing.
All that is in one, and then it comes out and that's your finished product.
Brilliant.
There's my name again. I bet you wish that said Glister on it.
Come on. Come and change.
We made it in April 2025, so we just aged the video.
We should do a Glister bundle. and give it away.
And I was right. It was 35 mil.
Yeah, good man. You're getting good at this, Rob. Should we do a Glister bundle, and if someone ever spots it, they win a length of 108 mil.
Right. This is our cleaning process. So every bit of tube that we make in our factory,
Yeah.
or we process through our factory, we got to clean it. So remember, we had a bit of grease, and we've cut the tube using saws, so
Yeah.
we've got a bit of swab. You don't want any of that in your pipe.
We want it shiny.
You want it shiny. We don't want to do it. So we put it through this machine here, which is called our degreaser.
Yeah.
It's a German-made machine. Costs over £1 million.
Jesus.
And I don't know if I can actually open the door.
No. No.
Can I open it this side?
Oh.
A sneaky peek.
Whoa.
That's like a giant button.
Jesus.
So you put over a ton's worth of copper
Yeah.
into the top of there. You see that blue bit there?
Yeah.
That's a lid that slides across this
Yeah.
way. You drop, because we do everything by overhead crane.
Yeah.
So we drop a master bundle or two of tube that we finished.
Yeah.
It's been marked, it's all ready to go out, but we just need to make it clean. So it goes inside that bath, we put the lid across,
Yeah.
and then we use petrochemicals,
Yeah.
and it cleans the tube. It takes away the swab, takes away all the grease.
Wow.
And with all the valves and pipe work,
Yeah.
we recycle everything, all the cleaning agents.
So everything that comes out is pumped back in, and
all the petrochemical
Yeah.
chemicals we use to clean a pipe
Yeah.
is then reused, and we siphon off all the
Jesus.
crud
Yeah.
and get rid of that, but then we reuse the same petrochemicals.
mate, when I see machines like that, I'm like, who thought of that?
And that is the boiler that runs the temperature for the petrochemicals.
High temp boiler there.
While you're here, Todd, can you serve it?
Yeah, yeah.
You're not a gas engineer.
No, I'm gas.
Oh, are you?
I'm gas, yeah. And this is above my kilowatt load, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just runs that machine.
Okay, nice. Jesus, I love that.
Right, quality control.
Quality control, here we go.
Oh, look, more tube.
Let's tube
Oh, yeah,
everything.
so we do some engineering too. We're going off tour now.
Oh, yes, exclusive.
So here we own a factory down in Poole.
Look at that.
And we make really small tubes.
Oh, mate. Oh.
So we're big bruisers in Coventry.
Yeah.
So you feel that's not been through the degreaser. Can you feel that? Look.
Yeah,
see?
like a little,
Feel a little bit of grease?
yeah, greasy.
So that's got to go in a degreaser, and the whole thing will go in the stillage. But we own a factory in Poole that's just pure engineering, and it's making either electrical switches. So you cut that piece off, you flatten one end,
Yeah.
you punch a hole through it, and
Yeah.
it turns into an electrical switch. Yeah,
Right.
you can even dip it in silver.
Yeah.
So those little electrical switches that
Yeah.
you see with a little shrink wrapped
Yeah.
sleeve on it,
Yeah, I know.
that'll be made out of copper.
Oh,
And a lot of it's made in the
right.
UK. So if you supply the Ministry of Defence in the UK,
Yeah.
they always want you to source from the UK, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
And that's what they're doing. So they're buying those little electrical switches are made by us
Yeah.
or by one of our customers, but we made the pipe. This also can go into solar panels. We cut up bits of tube that go into wind turbines for wind farms.
Do you know what I'm thinking? Right?
You want to start using that in your house?
Everyone needs a straw with them at all time.
Not capsule.
Yeah. And the good thing about that one is that
That'd be no good for you, Todd.
I
You'll
could
just
still
forget it.
later. I'm going to steal Rob's pint without him looking.
That's if you remember to take it. No, look, I've ruined that now. Look, you've got one there. I don't know whether that's...
That was in there. Yeah.
You sure? There you go. So that's a bit of engineering. What else? We also do copper nickel.
Oh, look at that.
So that is actually 90%. I really have gone off piece here, but
I like this.
So this is now the engineering side of the business, but that's copper nickel. So that's 90% copper, but it doesn't look like copper because it's got 10%
Yeah,
nickel in it.
Yeah.
Why do we do that? You can also get 70-30, but this is probably 90-10. It's because it gives it higher resistance to corrosion.
Right. Okay.
Nickel's a stronger metal
Yeah.
than copper, so you can have that in your braking system in your car.
Oh,
for
okay.
example.
Yeah.
So when you buy your brand new BMW or any other brand that are
Yeah.
just as equally as good,
Yeah.
it'll be called steel Bundy. So because most of the car is made out of white metal,
Yeah.
the braking system in your car will be made out of white metal, but they'll plastic coat it.
Yeah.
But then when you go and take it to your garage to be refurbed, they'll
Yeah.
quite often replace it with copper nickel or copper because it's a lot harder wearing.
Yeah.
And we supply 500,000 coils a year into the motor factory industry.
That's so good.
And that's just...
It's so interesting. I didn't know you did all this.
Yeah, we do. literally, copper tube can go into anything.
Yeah.
You can go into nuclear power stations.
Yeah.
You can go into making your taps.
Yeah.
You're making your whiskey.
Yeah.
There's so many applications.
It's wicked, man.
You just don't realise.
Look how thick that is. Look. Look at that.
Yeah. So do you want that for your house?
Yeah. Please, mate. Yeah. Take me about 10 years to get my pipe size for it.
Bend that, but then you're not very good at bending.
Yeah. Quite to quality control. Come on.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a laugh. Right, so.
Welcome to QC.
We've got a guy who's come early. And you're fixing, aren't you? He's fixing, but
He's
we won't
fixing.
talk about,
Don't worry. I'm the knobhead that showed up a day early. So I'm getting a quick exclusive tour. Hello, Michael. How are we doing?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was literally on Tuesday that the machine needed service.
Well, we can talk about the machine.
Yeah.
I'll do the talk if you want, Michael. It's all right. Don't worry. Right. I don't know if you want actually some real life demonstrations. You haven't had any yet, but we can do some. So anyway,
Here we go.
part of why you buy from Lawton Tube,
Oh, okay.
right, is because of the quality of the product, but because also we're quality controlling it, and we're doing it right here in Coventry.
In this room.
In this room.
Right.
At least a couple of rooms.
In these couple of rooms.
And we've got various machines to do various things. This is quite an antiquated machine, but it does exactly what it says in the tin. It doesn't
Right.
break down. It's mechanical. It's not.
If it's not broke, why fix it?
It's probably older than me. But this machine is the very reason why you'll ask about your rippling your pipe. You know, when you're using your pipe bending, rippling.
Yeah, and it ripples, yeah.
And it ripples. It's normally because you're not very good at bending. We mentioned that a minute ago. But check your tooling. We did do a YouTube video with PB on it.
Okay, okay.
But we can test to make sure the tube is as per what it should be. So 15 mil, for example, should be half hard, which is between 75 and 100 BPM.
Okay.
That's the technical term.
I'll take your word for it.
And what you do, and I'm going to just give you an idea. Oh, look, 100% recycled. And 100% recyclable. As if I had that there to hand. You put your pipe on there.
Yeah.
You pre-set it up with the different weights and counterbalances on it, but there's a diamond. If you feel the top of that drill bit, that's actually a diamond.
Oh, it feels like me.
Yeah,
That does.
you can unscrew it, but I'm going to check before you leave.
No,
the
let's
I know
not.
you're from down south. Gonna get people from down south. So basically, that'll come down and touch that and mildly penetrate it.
Okay.
We like a bit.
Just a mild bit of penetration in QC.
So I do a little indentation, and it'll do it to a set depth.
Okay.
And the set depth will be because this is the right hardness. And then you check by looking down the microscope.
Okay.
And you should see this crosshair on
Yeah.
the tube
Yeah.
by looking down the microscope. And then you'll read off the number there, and it should then match on the table here. And that'll determine how hard or how soft the tube is.
I love that. See if I can
So
get
it's a
it.
very basic, very quick machine
Seeing if I can get it. No chance.
to solve an age-old problem. Is the tube at fault when it comes to rippling?
Yeah, okay.
And that's how we test it.
That's
So you can send me.
So you got to do that to every single one of them out there.
So that would be very time consuming. We can do it by batch.
Okay.
So part of the British standard is we have to do so many tests per batch of
Yeah.
tube made. But if you had a problem in the field, Todd, and you said, "Oh, my 15 mil keeps rippling, and it's your tube, and it's not
Yeah.
my bender," and blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
You've done all the things that you could do on site. Use a different batch because each batch will have a number on it. You use a different batch, or you even use, God forbid, you use a different manufacturer copper pipe.
Never.
And you still think it's the pipe.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Send us 1/2 metre length. Sign it if you want, so you know it's your piece that we're testing.
Yeah.
And we'll test it on here to see whether it's within the hardness test.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah.
We don't charge for that, but
No.
we'll do a test on it and
Yeah.
confirm whether or not.
Get the diamond out.
Yeah.
Get the diamond out, have a little test. Like it.
All right. Then we can also do micrometer. So part of the standard is we've got to check and make sure the wall thickness is what we say it is. So you can check that you use a micrometer. This one's a digital one, and then you marry that up to there, and it'll tell you the thickness. You can also do it on the OD, and so you can do both.
Here's a question.
No.
Over the years, have you made it thinner just across the board?
So, gosh, you want a short answer or you want the proper technical answer? Does anyone technical watch your YouTube videos, or is it all?
Yeah, I
like
think
DIY?
technical. Let's go.
Somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So, the current standard is EN 1057.
Yeah.
Right? EN stands for Europe, but it's BS, so it's British Standard, European Standard. And it's one table. It's called Table X.
Right.
What was called Table X? Sorry, it's called EN 1057. So it's got all the different wall thicknesses in one table.
Yeah.
Before that standard, 2871, which you probably remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Because you're like 57 years of age. I think the standard changed in 1996, don't quote me on that, but I think that's roughly about right.
Yeah.
It used to be 2871, and 2871 had three tables.
Yes.
You had X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Z was the super thin.
Yeah.
I think so 15 mil, it was 0.5 mil thick.
Yeah.
Table X is 0.7, and table Y is 1.
Yes.
And they're the three tables. And
Yeah.
it's been the same wall thicknesses forever.
Yeah.
The difference is certain parts of the country wanted, back in the olden days, to
Yeah.
try this thinner wall. And when there was a copper shortage, the thinner wall was probably all that was available.
With you.
So everybody in their head just thinks it's got thinner. Hasn't got thinner, it's the same thickness. It's either 0.7 or 1 mil.
Right.
So you use your table Y if you want a higher pressure system.
Yeah.
And you use your table X if you only want to go up to 55 bar.
Yeah.
Well, you tell me what heating system goes up to 55 bar.
Exactly. Not many.
What
So
do you normally?
we're
Three,
2-3 bar.
2-3 bar.
Yeah.
So table X is fine. So you could actually use table Z, but
Yeah.
nobody sells table.
No. Okay, that's really interesting because I didn't know that. I was even walking around saying, "Is that
X and Y.
table X
So
and all the rest
yeah,
of it?" And
so
I'm
people
talking
still
out my
have
ass.
You can still actually move to say, can have table X and table Y.
Yeah.
Technically, you're incorrect because
Yeah.
that doesn't exist.
No,
anymore.
exactly. I
But
didn't know that.
We all know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, with you. That's interesting. Thank you for that.
Just to throw a little bit of a spanner in the works,
Yeah.
we then have on 35 and 42 mil, we introduce a slightly thinner wall, what we call Litex, that's our brand, and it's 1 mil thick. So table X is 1.2, table Y is 1.5, but we introduced a 1 mil thick because we didn't think anybody's going to bend above 28 mil.
Yes.
So why do you have a thicker tube on a coil? It's because it's soft. So the softer the material, the softer the metal, the lower the working pressure.
Yeah,
so
with
the
you.
thicker you have to make the wall. So if you pick up your 15 mil coil,
Yeah.
I don't know if you use 15 mil coil, but if you did, it'd be 1 mil thick.
Yeah.
The table Y.
Yeah.
Because you need to have a higher working pressure.
Yeah.
So you need, because it's soft, so you need it thicker. But when you come to straight length,
Mm-hmm.
it's half hard, 0.7 is
Fine. Okay.
so on 35 mil, we thought to try and ease the cost
Yeah.
by as much as 20%, we reduced the wall thickness by 20%.
And does that
It gives you exactly the same working pressure as a half hard tube. The 1 mil is just hard, so that might be a bit
Yeah.
technical. You might want to cut.
No, I like that. No, that's good.
So
People
just
like
on
this.
the mid-range sizes, 35 and 42.
Yeah.
We slightly reduced the wall thickness because we didn't think anyone bent it, so we stopped it being half hard.
Yeah.
We made it hard, and because we made it hard, we can make the wall thickness lighter.
Yeah.
And it still has the same working pressure
With you,
as if
okay.
it is a half hard tube.
Yeah.
So when you coil, to get the working pressure the same as your straight length, you have to make the wall thick.
So
this
the
is-
lovely Michael here is setting this up. Hi, Michael.
Tensile test machine.
Okay.
So we cut a section of pipe out, we make it almost look like a bow tie.
Oh yes, I can see that.
Yeah, so you've got slightly thicker at each end and it's clamped,
Yeah.
and then you've got a straight piece. He's pre-marked it
Yeah.
because we're going to literally pull it apart. We can put you in there in a minute.
Yeah. Stretch me. Can you make me a few inches taller?
Well, and I think this goes up to 10 tons, is it, or something?
Yes.
10 metric tons in ripping apart.
So yeah, you're testing the strength of it. I'm assuming.
Yes, so we're
Right.
making sure that the grains of the copper are right, and,
Yeah.
and that the product is pure and is doing the job that you want it to do. So we're slowly going to pull this apart.
It's like a
and it's just
medieval
gonna snap.
torture instrument, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
we can do that too.
It's actually two machines in one because this is what I'm clipping on. This is called an extensometer.
Okay.
So this will test our elongation at the same time while the pull-out test is being performed. I'm gonna have to flip it again.
That's all right.
Got a bit tangled.
You know, it's the orange gloves. Go with copper.
Everything's on brand.
I'm going to set our program up.
Okay.
So it's going to rip it apart. It's going to be shatters of copper everywhere. We're all going to go blow it now.
Yeah.
This is the modern version of the older machine that was massive.
Just
one's
send it up.
electronic. So these are all the samples that Michael's done. So every batch of tube we make, we have to take a sample and test all the different
Yeah.
things. So the hardness, the elongation. We've got the grain testing in there, which I'll show you in a sec.
Yeah, so
All part of the British standard.
I love this.
Normally we
I'm
would
geeking
put in
out.
all the dimensional information, things like that. We are going to put it in the program.
Yep.
Now that the machine is set up, we can start a test.
Okay.
Now it's going to begin to cool.
Okay. Here we go.
Is that actual real? Is that real fingers or is that the tolerance? Yeah. So it takes about 42 minutes and
Right, have we? Am I right? Can I have a seat then if I'm going to film it for 42 minutes?
No, I ain't joking.
Shouldn't be that long.
And it's
but-
very unimpressive, but there you go.
It's just slowly pulling it apart.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah.
So you can actually see the load being applied, and this is the elongation.
So we've got
What do you
8.
reckon the load will be before it goes? Is that 8 tons?
Yeah, so it's gonna go to about 950 kilograms. So now it's going down, so actually the sample is going to now slowly
There we go. Bang. Snap.
We're
And
meant to do that.
as the copper pulls apart, the extensometer is going to measure the elongation. So that's also part of the requirement.
Yeah.
So we literally stretched it.
Stretched it
so
to
you
its
can't stretch it anymore and it
with
snaps.
you. Okay, that's so interesting.
Yes, and the machine records all the information on
Uh-huh.
that for us.
That's a telephone.
That's a telephone, is it? Yeah.
We still use these. Hello.
And that's a bender.
Oh, God, yeah, we've got lots of different vendors.
Yeah.
And it records all the information in real time for us.
So you can
on
log
the
each batch or whatever and put it
Yes.
on there. Yeah,
And
amazing.
This way we have full control, full traceability of all the tests we do.
Yeah.
We get the full graph, so we mainly for EN57 to
Yeah.
fulfill the requirements, we are testing tensile strength. So
Yeah.
basically that's how much load, how much ripping force can the copper take before it breaks.
Yeah.
So that's the ultimate tensile strength, and the other requirement is the elongation. So that's sort of complements the hardness test. The elongation is going to allow us to test when you buy our half-hard tube, 28s, 22s, 15s.
Yeah.
It's going to also test if it's going to be suitable for bending.
Bending, right,
So
okay.
those two kind of working together. So we test the hardness,
Yeah.
but we also test physically how much the material can elongate
Yeah.
to kind of double check if that material is as
I love that.
valuable as it should be for bending.
Brilliant. That's so good.
Yeah, so this is also where we do all our measurements, as Rob
Yeah.
has said.
Brilliant.
So apart from that, we have some more advanced tests. So I can.
So we've been hitting it with diamonds. We've been stretching it. Where are we now?
Now what we've done is what Simon Bauer did with his table, but at a very small scale.
Oh, a little resin there.
We put in some epoxy resin. So what we've done is take a cross section of tube. We put in some epoxy resin, then you highly polish it, and you use this little machine here.
Yeah.
You can actually start it to see how it works.
How do I add it on?
Yes. Sorry, run and
Run.
stop. Yes.
Oh, look, failed miserably. Don't get me in it. So, oh, look at that, it's spinning around.
Oh, look at that.
And it's
And now it's
basically-
going on a merry-go-round.
Yeah, so it just does that, so it polishes it, so,
Yeah.
so you get to the point where you can see it. So then what you do then is you take your polished sample, and then if we try and avoid having that chat, and you put it on there,
Yeah.
and you look through the microscope, we're then looking at the actual individual grains of copper.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I do have a sample that I can show you.
he's
Really?
He's going to show you.
Oh, yes.
So that's another test we do, is looking at the individual grains
That's
of the copper.
amazing.
If I can find the box.
This is what happens when you show up a day early. I've caused havoc and chaos.
Literally nobody's getting their copper pipes tomorrow. So anybody in the country that doesn't get their 15 mil from their merchants, it's because of Todd.
It's me, I'm so sorry.
Big, a suitable sample.
And Todd's not getting it because he's forgotten his answer.
Yes, it actually.
Oh, there you go, this is better.
Because you actually miss out on.
So that's a small piece of copper section that we've cut out
Yeah.
of that pipe. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're going to look under that in a very high definition microscope to look at the individual grains.
Yes.
Can I have a look?
So after we cast it, we polish it, and then this is what the fume hood is for. So this is where we etch the material. So we are using certain reagents
Yeah.
that etch the copper surface so that we can actually see the grains. Because normally, if the pipe is really polished, you can't really see anything. It just looks like
Yeah.
a monolithic structure, but it's actually made out of individual
Monolithic.
crystals.
That's very good, isn't it?
So I'm gonna turn the.
Okay.
Very let's keep-
Mate, I'm just geeking out hard. This is well
Yes,
good.
Normally, because the computer is now set up in the engineer,
Can you see
we
it?
also have a software because there's a camera that also allows us to take pictures.
Oh, that's alright.
But you will be able to.
Can I see with my own eyes?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Have you remembered to bring those with you? I'm going to do all that.
Left them in the van, didn't I? Oh, so good.
I don't know if you picked it up on the camera.
No, I'm not gonna.
Yes.
I'll just have a look. I'm gonna do it like this.
And we'll be able to capture with the camera. You'll just have to be.
Wow, that's incredible. So that's what grains of copper look like.
Can you see my name on it?
That's right. Yeah.
We put Lawton on every
Rob
single
Lawton
grain.
in every grain. Yeah, that is incredible.
I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera.
Oh, well, I bet you could. I bet you could.
Try it.
I'll put it on.
You just need to come in real close and put it like right against it, and
We'll find
you
it,
can
hang on.
sort of finagle it. You may be able.
Or you get a little bit of it there. You can sort of just. Oh, there we go. Got it. Sort of, nearly. Don't move the camera. But anyway,
the light travels to the opposite
yeah,
way.
you quickly saw that anyway, so that's really good. Yeah,
And
that's
then
amazing.
this machine here,
Yeah.
you basically do your prep work. You put your pipe in here. We superheat this up to over 1,000 degrees, isn't it, Michael? Something like that.
Up to, yes.
And we're burning anything, any crud, any carbon.
Yeah.
And we measure that to see how clean the pipe is, because we
Bloody
measure
hell.
cleanliness by the level of carbon on the.
Hey, you just wouldn't think there was this much that went into
That's
bloody
extra
copper
grand.
manufacturing.
No,
Yeah.
You think you just run a bit of tube? I don't know what you think.
Well, this is what I think. I think you get a bit of copper ore, slap it on a machine, comes through copper end, you sell it.
Yeah,
I'm
so
doing all this on the
yeah.
presentation tomorrow morning. I'm going to be testing you. I'm going to be asking you all these questions.
Okay.
Yeah, this test was actually introduced after we started using copper in the United Kingdom. People used to have a lot of pinholes.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think it was actually BSI in conjunction with some industry specialists that actually came up with the idea that it's actually the leftover grease from the production process
Yeah.
is actually what catalyzes
Get rid of
the reaction and
Yeah.
causes the pinholes.
Wow.
And they actually came up with those tests. But first, the degreasing process.
1974, something like
That was quite a long. Yeah, that was a very long time ago.
Wow.
Mm.
that? Right, there you go. There's your tour, young.
Mate, I really enjoyed that. I hope everyone on YouTube enjoyed that. I think that was well interesting. Right then, we're off. See you later, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Subscribe, like, and all that jazz. Oh, one more thing, quick, before we go. Oh yeah, Rob? What colours can we have this in? The plastic coating? Any colour?
Even when we cut, so your tube to length, and that's just a saw.
Yeah.
It's quite boring. But that's really thick. Even this swarf that we have left over,
Yeah.
because copper's
Copper?
100% recycled.
Yeah. It's all the schwa.
We recycle all the bits of copper that we cut.
I've just seen.
Nothing gets wasted.
I've just seen what Rob's given me for my house now.
You can have the offcut.
Mate, I don't mind the offcuts if I can have some couplings.
There you go. There's a free bit too. Well done.
Thank you, mate.
Well done, LPB award winner.
Yay!
Plumbers Plumber.
Oh, amazing. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show that, mate. Can't be ungrateful or anything. Ah, what a tour. What a video. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I'll have it set up so you can.
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm just trying to see if we got the drawing.
Obviously, I'm a day early, aren't I? So, yeah, sort of set up. But I hope you enjoyed that anyway. I actually really did enjoy that. Whether you find that boring or not, I don't care. But I thought it was fantastic. So I'll see you later, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. This is what we were supposed to be doing tomorrow. Because I'm a day early, like an idiot, it's not been set up. So, look at this. I'm going to be pressing some of that. Look, just to give you, because I've zoomed out here. Look.
That's a 108mm.
108mm. Bit of swept elbow there.
That's the biggest size that we do in running windows. This is the largest fitting that we can make in end braze. You know, we talked about how you braze it.
Right,
with that
Rob,
rod.
hold the camera. I'm going to show them because I've done this before.
You've done this before? Oh, God.
Remember when you come to fix radio?
Oh, yes.
Oh no, it's quite scary.
Has your head got bigger?
There we go. That's how big that is.
Now you've got to say proper in copper on that.
Proper in copper. Right.
Weighs about 15 kilos. How much? Can you remember how much that's worth?
It's
Retail.
like 1,000 and something.
1,000
bucks, isn't it?
quid, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying. Cracking little episode again. I'll do a little exit. I'll see you later, guys. Much love.